Today I'm back with it on my 99 Civic. This video will more than likely just be some random stuff I do on my car here and there, just touching up on some things. First thing I'm going to do on here is finish deleting the cruise control on my car. The last time I was working underneath the hood, I noticed that the little control box that be underneath there is not there, and someone had cut the cable from the firewall. Usually the control for the cruise control sits right here, but obviously it's not right here. If we take a look at the firewall, this is where the cable for the cruise control is at, and it's just cut. I'm going to twist this so we can get it loose from the firewall. Alright, there it goes. Now I'm going to go on the inside and disconnect it from the gas pedal. If you just follow it on up, it connects right there. You just got to move the cable. It does have a little slot, and then you'll be able to get it completely off. Alright, so it came off. Came off pretty easy just because it's cut already. And it's just hanging right here. So there's the little barb that connects on the gas pedal. Like I said, just move the cable and should be able to get it out. Now to cover the hole, I do have the grommet. I'll put the part number, but you can get it off of eBay. It's pretty cheap, and so that'll cover it right here and prevent any wind, water, dirt, anything from getting inside there. Also, I am replacing the vacuum block off that is behind here for the cruise control. They just had this hose with a screw in it. Here I have the proper block off vacuum cap. I believe this is a 3/16. Back here where my finger is at, this is where the vacuum cap would go on. You could just delete the stuff underneath the hood and close up that hole and call it a day for the cruise control delete. But if you guys saw my other video, I do delete the other things inside of the interior, because to me there's no point of having it in there if it's not going to be used. I'll be taking off the buttons for the cruise control, taking off the switch here, and as well there's a control module over here behind this panel. To take off this switch, it just has two screws on the side here. When you delete this, you're going to have a hole on the side of your steering wheel, which I don't really mind it. I don't even notice it whenever I'm driving or in the car. So if you don't want that hole, just leave it on. Control module down here. I don't think you necessarily have to take out this panel, but just to show you guys and make it a little bit easier, I'm going to take it off here. You guys take a look right here up on top. It has some sort of control box with the blue plug, and on there it does say auto cruise control. So I'm going to be taking that off. There is a 10 mil like nut. Go ahead and take that off. So there it comes down, and then remove the blue plug. I just took that plug out of the way. Here is that control box. The last thing to do is take out this button. Usually I take off this bottom panel and just pop it on out. Now I have access through here, and it just has some tabs on the side that you gotta push in. Yep, there it goes. See the tabs right there, and just disconnect it. Just gave that real quick wipe down, and I have this blank switch from a non-cruise control Civic. I'm going to use this to cover up this hole. It does have where you could put in the plug, so it's not being used and it's not just dangling. That is it for the cruise control delete here on the interior. Now I'm going to go in the engine bay and clean up the engine bay a tad bit. The other thing I want to replace is the clip here for this hood prop. So I did buy this kit online from Osaka Racer, and this is the grommet that's going to be for the hood prop. There's a part number 91604 SD2013, and then for the white clip that holds the prop when it's down, it's 90672 SJ4013. I'll replace the clip first. There it is. I'm gonna go ahead and replace this one while I have it. You can tell it's been sliding and hitting up on here. Also, the other thing I'm gonna touch up on real quick is adjusting this hood latch, because whenever I set down the hood, I really gotta slam it on down in order to close it. So I'm gonna loosen up these 3 10s, 1, 2, and 3, and move this hood latch just a little bit up. I have noticed that these wires are just all loose, nothing's bolted down. This one for the alternator was just laying around. Then the alternator wire is running right through this power steering line, this hard line. So it makes me think that they've taken this engine out, they've messed with it, probably taken off the head. I'm not sure exactly, but usually with a car with this mileage, I would see more like oil consumption and coolant consumption. I haven't noticed it on this one. Everything's just kind of loose. The little ties are missing. Missing the bracket for the throttle cable that would be right here. And then the one that would hold the brake booster hose and the throttle cable. I do still have the brackets from my other Civic for the throttle cable that would sit right here. And then for the brake booster hose, I think I at least gonna put this one on for the brake booster. I don't think I necessarily need the one here, because that one would mainly be for the throttle cable and the cruise control cable when they run through here. Here are those 2 brackets. This one, like I said, would just sit right here. Has 2 of them for the throttle and the cruise, so I don't think I'm going to use this one. But this bracket right here would sit in there and then just hold the brake booster and throttle cable. So I'm going to reinstall this one into this car. Call me cheap, but I did manage to take off one of the holds or zip ties off of my other Civic without completely breaking it. And also this little test plug, I'm not sure exactly what it's for. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab a zip tie for this one. So now this holds a lot better instead of just hitting up on the shock tower here. Have that on there. There is another bracket that usually holds right here, and that's where this will snap into, but that's for the cruise control, so that has been deleted. For now, I did install that bracket on top of the alternator and just put that one clip. Still gotta fix it. Shouldn't be running through that hard line like that. The next thing I'm gonna do is take out the battery. I'm gonna clean up around the battery there, but I am gonna install the battery tie down. To me, that is necessary, because if the car ever flips or anything like that, the battery post is gonna hit the hood and then you can start a fire. So I'm gonna be installing that back in. Here is the battery tie down from my other Civic, and just throw this on in. These nuts really don't have to be tight. As long as the battery is being held in place, that's what matters. Of course, whenever I work on the car some more, I'll try to fix some of those other wires that are just kind of loosely back there. I'm gonna put a little focus on the interior. Something I've really been wanting to do is to just take out the center console and clean up the panels. I know a lot of times people drop stuff in the drink area. A lot of stuff gets in this crevice and here, also in the e-brake area. So I'm going to take out the little side screws to get the center console one out, and then of course you do have the screw there to get the handle out for the auto shifter. I'm going to try to scrub this on up. Hopefully I can get it clean, but if not, I think I do have another one. can tell it's kind of nasty in here, so I am going to grab the vacuum real quick, vacuum it on up, and then the rest of the stuff that doesn't come off, I'm going to scrub it on up. Some of these pieces are very nasty. Let's take a look at that. Did take apart the center console so I could get up on in there. There was some gum or something just kind of stuck in the corner there, so really wanted to get that cleaned up. Took out all the little blank switches, cleaned in between there. This one had the biggest difference just because it had all that dust and it looked like mold or something. The center panel and the cup holders. Tried cleaning the armrest. I don't think it's gonna look too much better, but I'll give it a shot. This really surprised me. Just with the first scrub, looks a ton better. I guess it was just really caked up dirt that was on there. Let me keep going at it. I'm going to put the cup holders back in, and then also I'm going to put the panel here for the shifter. And I'm going to change this light since it doesn't work at night. It's kind of hard to see just to make sure I'm in the right gear. On me I do have an extra blue LED from Super Bright LEDs. So the armrest is fully dry. It really exceeded my expectations on cleaning it, and honestly that's pretty hard to do. I really thought the armrest was just really worn down and the fibers were completely gone, but some sort of like mud, dirt or something was just holding it on down like some gel. Just going to reinstall it here on the center console. Now the interior is a little bit cleaner. Got that armrest cleaned up. That was really on my mind, honestly. Really makes the interior look a lot better in here. Now probably the biggest eyesore is going to be that steering wheel. Here's the blue LED in the shift panel. And in person you can't really see the P or the N like very bright on camera. It looks a whole lot better. And the D4 is kind of slightly off. Again, it looks better on camera, but the bottom end of that D doesn't look lit up in person. It definitely looks better than before. At least I could see what gear I'm shifting into, but I'm going to try to use a natural white. There it is, natural white in the shift panel. Still a little bit on the D4 right there. The bottom part of the D is a little bit unlit. Again, looks a lot better on camera than it is in person, but still looks a lot better than the blue, at least having the P for park and the N for neutral lit up. This just plays a lot better into the factory lighting, factory coloring of the instrument panel. That is going to be it for this video, guys. Really wanted to show you on deleting the cruise control what has to be done underneath the engine bay as well as on the interior if you want to fully delete it. Also just getting to tidy up some of those things in the engine bay, and as you guys just saw, cleaning up that center console, which I think it really makes a pretty big difference on the vehicle, especially when you're driving it. Just like to feel a lot cleaner and not have to wonder what is on those parts. For me, mentally, just cleaning up that interior was a pretty big accomplishment. I feel a lot better driving it. I hope you guys like this video. Comment down below if you guys have any questions or what you guys think of the vehicle. And if you aren't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. I got other videos on other projects and as well this one. Check out some of those other ones on out. I'm gonna catch you on the next one, player.